Hello and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be having a look at Talador. Now you're probably thinking, hey, what the hell, man? This is Zangarmarsh, clearly. No, this is not Zangarmarsh. This is Zangara, which is one of the little subzones inside Talador. I just thought I'd start this video off with a bang, because honestly, this is a really cool little place. Now there are some quests here, however, apparently I didn't seem to get them. I have not like 100% finished Talador. More that I've just had some oddities with not being able to accept a few quests and, just general beta things. But you can see here's a dead Fenstrider. There's another dead Fenstrider. Not a very good day. It's actually the same guy, but whatever. Not a very good day for the Fenstriders, as it would seem. Still, though, this is a really, really cool little subzone, and I mean, a lot of people are perhaps disappointed that they're not going to see Zangarmarsh again. Well, I mean, yeah, you're not going to see it again, but what you are going to see is little hints of it everywhere, and I think that's nice, and it's not like it's just the zones smaller than Outland, of course. We still have the Spires of Iraq, which of course was previously just sort of blown off when the whole place was turned into Outland. So it's very cool. This is just a nice little place, and let's keep on moving. This is of course aesthetically 100% different from what's going on with the rest of Talador, which is all the Draenei architecture and some various problems, like say the Iron Horde, and of course, the Shadow Council. All in all, a lot of bad chaps. Okay, so let's just leave here in our little whirly beam thingy from Khadgar. Good old Khadgar, very useful guy. And yeah, so we're getting more into the Talador aesthetic now. I've got to say, Talador is a really cool zone, though. I've had a lot of fun here. It was very fast, though. To be honest, the leveling was done in about 2 hours, so extremely quick. Maybe 3 hours, it depends what sort of speed you're going at. But yeah, like, it was pretty good, honestly. The quests were all very much on point in terms of the story. There was a really cool scenario that went on with Shattrath City, and all in all, it was really cool. So here is here's Vol'jin's Pride. This is the Horde outpost here. Of course, we're not going to go in there because a whole bunch of guards would just tear me a new one, and that's not really conducive to having a video that's good. So let's take this conveniently placed path over to, what's it called? Fort Rin. Yeah, that's it. Not Fort Rin, just Fort Rin. I'm being silly. Anyway, so a little bit of a thing here. It seems like these outposts are kind of, they're placed right beside each other. Listen, the Alliance and Horde are not really fighting against each other. It's just weird what's going on with the, Ashran kind of breaking the lore, which I suppose is fine for gameplay. But it is a little bit strange. Like, we are kind of, in a few instances, actually being helped out / are helping the Horde. Anyway, so here's a little bit of a look at the Garrison Outpost. It's nice, it's sort of compact, it's busy, feels sort of bustling. Also, the guards kind of hail you when you get near, so that's pretty cool. I'll give you a quick little peek up to the north, and then we'll have a look at, of course, Shattrath City, which I'm sure you all want to see, because, I mean, it's bloody Shattrath City, it's really cool. And these guys appear to be Pandaria Tigers. I don't know if they're going to stay there like that. Anyway, so here's a little bit of a view. You've got some Iron Horde stuff going on there, and hey, it's pretty nice. So this little area here is all about fighting the Iron Horde. Later on at level 100 in Shattrath City, you end up fighting the Shadow Council. I'm not sure if that stuff's phased correctly at the minute, but what I will say is that at level 100, it's fun enough. It's nothing particularly special, but I mean, at least you get to do something that's different in Shattrath City, which I suppose is cool. It would be nice if eventually we could liberate the place or something, but I just don't really think that's going to happen. Now, in terms of travel, well, travel's generally quite good. As you can see from Fort Rin, we can get around the place pretty easily. However, a few of the flight points, like say this here, just don't make sense. Blizzard definitely need to do some polishing up work with the flight points. That's absolutely a certainty. They're not perfect. But hopefully they will eventually be somewhere close to perfect. Alright, so let's move just a little bit closer to Shattrath City. I'm not too sure how much of that I will really be able to show you. I'll try to get in as close as I can and see stuff. Wow, that looks cool, whatever the hell that guy's got going on. Huh, weird. Okay, so, Shattrath City. Well, it's obviously not a city anymore. I mean, yeah, it's a city, but it's not a faction hub or anything like that. It's basically a quest area at the minute. Honestly, it does feel rather underutilized. You go in there very quickly for one little scenario, but other than that, you just kill some mobs there at level 100. I've got to imagine that they have some sort of plan going on for Shattrath, honestly, because it is such a cool place. Anyway, so what you can see here is that basically Talador is kind of sieged by the Iron Horde. There's lots of Iron Horde buildings scattered around the place. And overall, it's just a very bad time if you're a Draenei running around here. There's some hippopotamuses as well. Funny to see them in Warcraft, but I think the new hippo model is actually really cool. So here we are approaching in Shattrath. I think this is going to be like full of level 100 guys. At least it was the last time I went here. Now, I think that they should really just phase you into that once you actually hit level 100, or, you know, something like that. But there's lots of Shatari defenders. Actually, maybe this won't be all full of the Burning Legion. Oh yeah, no, it is phased correctly. So this place is just full of the Shatari defender people. So that's cool, I suppose. Here's some dead Iron Horde. And I don't think there'll be any spoilers in here, though if there are, I will be sure to cut them out of the video. So it's pretty cool seeing Shattrath in its kind of full glory. I'll get up to one of those rises soon enough. Now, you cannot actually get into the center of the city. That's probably something that a lot of people would have loved to do, but unfortunately you just can't. Maybe that will be opened up in the future, or it could, like the Temple of Karabor, just stay permanently closed. If it does, I've got to say that might be a bit of a pity, because it would be so cool to have a reason to go back inside Shattrath City and see all the cool stuff that's going on. Okay, so while they may all be dead, you can still see the remnants of the Iron Horde invasion here. Lots of cannons and things like that, lots of NPCs running around the place. You basically get phased into like a mini scenario thing when you go in here for the questing, which is pretty cool. Oddly enough, they have cleared this up. Yeah, the ships are kind of all sunk and wrecked. Lots of dead people, but it does feel like a war zone. A lot more than some other times when Blizzard have tried to make an area feel like a war zone. Talador absolutely feels under siege, which is, of course, very important. You know, it's pretty cool. So, yep, there you go. That's a little bit of a look at Shattrath City. I'm going to try to get up on one of the rises, because obviously that was a cool thing back in the Burning Crusade. And don't worry, after that, I'll start flying around the place a little bit more on flight points, just to keep this video nice and quick. Now, by the way, the reason why there's sort of less of the structured videos on the channel at the minute is because I'm currently just busy in real life, so I don't have a great deal of time to make videos just for the next day or two. We're moving into a new place. Well, I'm moving into a new place. I'm in the city, so I need to set up my room, I need to cart stuff up there, and, you know, do all that. This is only phase 1 of 2, though. Phase 2 will involve actually, like, fully moving up my rig and all that stuff. So, anyway, let's get back to the video. Oh, look at this. We got, like, a little place here. The Shattrath Port Authority. You know, I feel like there could have been some really cool stuff going on here. I hope that perhaps at some stage we do liberate it and they maybe turn it into just something to do with a new quest hub or something like that in a future patch after 6.0, because it would make sense that after 6.0 we would have cleared out the defenders, or the you know, Shadow Council defenders, because Shattrath City is in fact completely owned by the Shadow Council at level 100, which is a little bit crazy come to think of it, really. I'm not too sure if that's the direction I would have went with, personally, but I suppose that's whatever Blizzard decided to do. So anyway, there's a little bit of a look. I'm just going to cut until I get to one of the rises. Okay then, so here we are at the Market District near one of the rises. I'll be going up there soon. You can see just a few vendors and things like that. Now over there's a little bit more of a kind of bustling part. I suppose I'll just give you a quick little view of that. A little bit less sort of destroyed by the Iron Horde, which is certainly kind of nice to see. You know, it's definitely nice seeing these places fully built up and civilized, but not destroyed. I suppose one little problem with the idea of, you know, it all being kind of ripped to shreds is, oh look, we just phased into the main fight. Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, there you go. That's a little bit of a peek at what the fight looks like. This thing really transports you up fast, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so here we are up at the top. By the way, these Draenei guys have got kind of interesting armor, so that's a thing. Hopefully we'll be able to get that as a transmog via our Dwarven armories and that whole sort of Iron Horde scraps system. Maybe we can get that, but for the Draenei. So then, we've got this cool building going on at the Spire of Light. Obviously, these just don't really look like the rises from old Shattrath, which is fine, you know, I'm happy with things being new and shiny. And shiny they are. This really is a very pretty zone. I love the color of the trees, I like the skybox. It all just feels great. I was a little bit concerned that perhaps some elements of this zone would have been just far too, well, I suppose far too, like, washed out and misty and stuff, but that's not really been the case. So here we have another example of flight points in action. This is something that I'm going to bug report to Blizzard so they can fix it, obviously. The thingy from Shattrath to Retribution Point wants to send us all the way over here. Which I guess isn't too bad, because I can actually just go to Terracore Refuge and Anchorite's Sojourn, whatever the hell it's called. So yeah, we're going to get a nice little fly-through of Talador, which is a thing, I suppose. Hurrah! And stuff. Now yeah, here's my one little criticism of Talador. So as we move more into parts of the zone, you see this dense fog come over. Now that dense fog is nice in that it does make the forest feel a little bit more kind of mystical and, you know, a bit like Mirkwood, I suppose. But just the problem with it is sometimes it's annoying not being able to see as far. And yeah, I, as always, just don't particularly like Blizzard fog. I think this zone is at its nicest when you can see pretty far and things are nice and crisp. And the fog doesn't always really help out with that. Another thing is the water is surprisingly clear in this zone. That's something that's actually really cool. I don't know, it just feels crisp, I suppose. Which is nice. I like the feeling of crispness. It's bizarre, I like it in terms of water and just how it looks. And the sound effects are also really crisp on the new ones, like the actual noise that you make when you fall into water. Lots of cool stuff going on there. So there's some Arakoa stuff. Of course, you've seen most of them in the video that I did for the Spires of Iraq. So I suppose if you want to see more Arakoa, you can go and watch that, I guess. Now this is, I believe, the bit that hooks onto Shadowmoon Valley. Yes, it is. So previously, if we had ran in here, it would have just kicked us out, but now, of course, Talador is open, and yay, there's more Shadowmoon Valley, but of course, you have all seen that. No, we're going to fly to Auchindoun, I'll show you that, and then that'll probably be the end of the video, because that will have, that will have been basically all of the major kind of landmarks covered. I just ran past the Flightmaster. That was very silly of me. Hello, Flightmaster. Right then, to Auchindoun. Now, I don't know how the phasing is going to work here with Auchindoun. There shouldn't be much of a spoiler, but, well, yeah, I don't think this is actually a spoiler at all. You'll just see some Alliance and Horde people sitting beside each other, talking. That's about it. Not much of a spoiler, really, given all the themes that have been going on with Warcraft recently. But yeah, Talador is one of those zones that's definitely very visually consistent. Other than Zangara, there's not really much to throw things off, or, you know, shake it up. It's basically just a nice pretty forest with, I guess, like reddish, orangey trees. That's basically the whole zone. So maybe if this was an extremely long zone, it would get pretty dull, but what works out pretty well is that, of course, it's a decently short zone. You get through it rather quick, and it just feels nice and snappy. However, I've got to admit that perhaps it does feel like we get through some of these zones too quickly, and you kind of, I don't know, you just rush through it so fast that you don't really appreciate what you're going through. Yeah, I mean, you can get to level 100 in under 12 hours, just doing questing, like it's ultra fast. Anyway, so here we are. Oh, look, this quest is finally working. I had so many problems with that. Yeah, so we've got some NPCs there. I mean, you can read them if you want to. It's just some people helping each other out. But yes, this is Auchindoun. Now, this would have been the... Oh, not the Dead... Was it the Dead Wastes? I think this used to be the Dead Waste or something like that in Terracore Forest. It is, of course, now Auchindoun. If you want to have a look at Auchindoun closer, you can check out my Auchindoun dungeon video. To actually see inside Auchindoun, because it's only available in a dungeon. But Auchindoun itself is certainly a really nice place. It's a hell of a good landmark. And overall, you know, it's just nice. We're getting to see these big old built-up Draenei things, and it's a big step up over some of the Outland stuff. Oh, also, the Burning Legion are very much involved with this. Well, more of the Shadow Council and the Sargerai, who are another fun little faction that will probably deal with a little bit more at level 100. So far, I've mainly been dealing with the Iron Horde as the leveling experience. Honestly, I think we're going to get rid of the Iron Horde pretty quickly and transition on to fighting demons. However, I am still a little bit worried about the lore implications of us fighting the Burning Legion. Like, are there going to be 2 Burning Legions? Is there going to be 1 Burning Legion that's, like, pan-dimensional? What the hell's going to go on? It's hard to know. I mean, I have seen some little, like, Draenei holograms of Archimonde, which is very confusing because he should be dead, and that would indicate 2 legions, and I don't like the idea of that, because, like, if we defeat Kil'jaeden now, then lore-wise he's hardly much of a scary thing when we defeat him in our own timeline, is he? So yeah, there's a bit of a look at Talador. That's essentially all of the interesting things that I saw when I was running around the place. I think this is a really pretty zone. It's certainly worthy of being in the game. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, that's really about it. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can like and subscribe and do all those great things. And with all that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.